Hey, hello, this is Martin from Seekage, the channel for learning about trading and investing. Welcome to Markets Tomorrow, the daily quick stock market analysis show that we have, where we analyze the charts, technical charts, and try to understand what happened in the market and also plan for a better trade for the next day. That's December 1st, Friday, tomorrow, 2023. So we had another green close, but a very volatile one today, and that's about it. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and share with your friends and colleagues so that it reaches out to max. So we have a quick wrap up here, but before that, let's get into the charts and see what exactly happened today. Look at this. First, let's start with the Nifty. So here we have almost like a hammer. No, it's a hammer. It's also a small body. Hammer has a small body, so indicates several things. So hammer on the top of a rally could be indication of a reversal, but not confirmation. Confirmation only after the price moves below the low of that hammer. So that's one thing. Hammer indicates a long wick on the downside, which indicates there is a good support downside there, from the side of the bulls. Hammer also is a small body, so it is indecisive. These are all the factors that we can conclude from these candlesticks. So let's bring in the other pattern. So we already know that we have broken out of the trend line channel, right, on the Nifty, and we had a very solid gap up with the Marbozo or a wide range bullish candle that one formed. And today, normally after such big moves, there will be some consolidation that would happen, but that's exactly what happened. It did try to move up, broke away the gap resistance, and then made a dip, right, and then reversed completely, right, and finally green close. But it's slightly indecisive. But the fact is that it's an inch more, it's a little more, very close to the new all-time high of 20,000 triple. That's what magnitude is. So the first resistance will be the all-time high levels right now, what they have. So 20,222 is the first resistance. After that, it's an unknown territory. It can, you'll have to draw the Fibonacci extensions and then project it electronically. We'll do that once it breaches that and makes the new all-time high. So that's how it is. So at least with the rounding numbers, it's like 2300, 2400, 2500, up to that can be resistance zones because of the rounding number nature with psychological resistance levels. Downside, the first support will come in at 20,000. Obviously, that's a good support, and that after that you have the 19,900, which is again a gap support. The gap up gaps can act as good supports, and then likewise it would move down to the 850 zone, 19,850 zones, and it has this 19,740 zones where the 20 exponential moving average is also there. Then it comes to 19,500 levels where it has got another gap support. In between you have supports in 19,600 and 19,650, right? So a lot of support, plenty of supports. It's comfortably breaking out above the 20, 50, 100, 200 all exponential moving averages and the trend lines. Price action wise, higher highs getting formed and towards the all-time high, very close, hardly 150 points less than that to all-time high. That's what it is. Now, in Bank Nifty, yesterday formed a solid breakout out of the 14-day of consolidation, and today it did consolidate. It tried to move up, met with the resistance at 44,800 zones. Obviously, we have a previous swing high there, and then it made a dip and then recovered most of it. Not that much, but again, it formed a hammer. The candlestick pattern that we have, a hammer. Hammer again, as I say, hammer on the top of any rally. It could be a potential reversal indication, but not confirmed until it moves below the low of the current candle. Hammer also has a wick which indicates the support zones that is there at 44,300 nearby, zones 250, and hammer also indicates that there is a smaller body relatively as compared to the wicks, which indicates there is some element of indecisiveness. Right, that's about the Bank Nifty. And also, we need to make a note that we are on the top. Bank Nifty, we are in the top of that swing high, that the top of the panel trend line channel, and breaking out that would obviously face some resistance because it's very close by the 45,000 as well. So 45,000 is a major, a big rounding number that will face some. So once that is taken out, that is where the price action completely turns bullish on the Bank Nifty also. So the first resistance on the upside would be to take out today's high, that's 44,800 nearby zones, and then 44,950 zones where there is another resistance that comes into play, and then 45,000 and 45,100 zones with resistance, previous resistance is there. After it moves there, it needs to move another 1,400 points towards the all-time high. But breaking out of that would be the thing. Breaking out of that psychological 44, 45k would be the thing that would come in as the major resistance. Now it took, you know that it took a lot of time, 14 days to break out that 44k and reach that, conquer that 45k. So now the next target will be 45k and then 46k and then beyond that to the all-time high levels. So the movement ahead for the Bank Nifty towards the new all-time highs would completely depend on how big. So if this 600, 700 kinds of moves are happening, it's not a big task for it to clear the 45 or 46k. It may not take more than a week to do that for the Bank Nifty if it's breaking out, and that's the fact about that. The supports would come in at 45,200 first, and then obviously at the consolidation breakout zone of 44k would be a very good support, and then 44,600 would be support, which is also confluence of some moving average, exponential moving average, and then back to 43,300 where you have the 200 exponential moving average. So it all depends on when is the 45k. So once 45k from the Bank Nifty also is cleared, then it's a rally 100% confirmed, and it would be a really big rally that if the banks are breaking out, because it has been lagging behind. It did broke out yesterday, it did consolidate today, and let's see what happens. The price moves above the today's candle's high. So that's what it is all about. Now if you look at the Bollinger Bands, it's expansion on the upside that you can see clearly on the Bank Nifty, which indicates that the price is expected to move further up. Same with the Bank Nifty, was expansion and walking on the bands of the Bollinger, which is extremely bullish in nature. Momentum wise, if you see, the Bank Nifty and the Nifty is having momentum on the bullish zones, and the Nifty. So Bank Nifty has slightly taken a dip today, but it does not breach that 60 RSI zones. That means it's forming a range shift from the sideways to the bullish zones, which is extremely bullish in nature. So it's a range shift of the momentum on the daily charts that we can clearly see, and there is every chance that it takes a bounce from here and further moves up. So from the momentum indicator perspective also, so trend indicators are also in the bull zones, in the DMI positive zones on both the time frames. So let's just quickly wrap it up. Right. So we had a flattish close. The close of Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty was like less than 0.20% up, and Nifty was about 0.35% up positive. Right, so Bank Nifty is slight. So both slight, very volatile intraday V-shaped moves and flat close is what has happened today. But definitely it's a green close for the Nifty. Just moved an inch closer to the new all-time highs. The most interesting thing is that Fyers have become buyers in the cash market for 8,000 crores. That's one of the biggest buying in the recent times. 8,000 crores in a single day. This may be something to do with the MCSI realignment or something that happened, that is supposed to have happened today. So that could be the reason for that big figure. But FI standing as buyers is a big thing for they have been consistently been sellers for 17 to 18 weeks, and now recent last 2 weeks is where they have turned to be buyers in November end. But anyway, it's positive. So resistance and upside, we know what is it, we already discussed, and downside also in both indices. Supports, we know what it is, and we have discussed the momentum. We know it's in the bull zones. Trend is also in the bull zones. On the short term, we're talking about VIX close flat, which there is some unusuality when the market is moving 1.5% of move. Why is the VIX staying flat or not cooling off, or sometimes even last 2 weeks it was spiking, last 2 days it was spiking up and the market was moving up. So that is a caution of, that is a divergence and something need to be not of, especially since we have an election exit poll outcome that's expected today evening by night. So tomorrow we have to be cautious about that fact. Bollinger Bands are expanding. Technically it's bullish on the short term for sure, on all the indicators that we are trying to analyze. Technical charts on the sectors, almost all the sectors close green. and all of them are in the short-term bullishness momentum perspective, short-term on the daily charts. Almost all the major sectors like pharma, FMCG, auto, reality, IT, all of these are in the bull zones on the short-term perspective, right, from the momentum perspective. Heavyweights, that's where we have the trouble. None of the heavyweights are in the bull zones except the HDFC Bank, which has climbed into the bull zone. So HDFC alone is the index heavyweight where people are putting the money in when the market is spiking up towards the all-time high. So imagine what would happen if the others are also, getting money and getting bought, right? So it will be a big move if the other ICICI Bank, Reliance, and all that also gets into the play. Then it will be a big move that can happen. Will that happen or not? Time will say. Bank Nifty only will say. Moving sunrises have been on the top and it's climbing up and showing green since the inflation worries had cooled down a little bit, and that's when our market also joined the party. And crude oil is spiking up slightly. Gold is spiking up. It's on the top, but the dollar is spiking up as well as and the rupee is weaker. Dollar was cooling off a little bit, but now there's some spike that is happening. That is another point that we had to be cautious about, just like the VIX. But yeah, as long as the US market is going up, and dollar is not spiking too much, everything should be fine. And the Fyers are buying. Naturally, they'll buy foreign money, and the market will spike up, right? So this is not the time for value investing, but momentum investing. This is the time where the breakout happens, when the entry has to happen with tight stop losses. But value investing would be when there are dips or corrections that happen to every 10%, 5%. You can have SIP investments. From the trader point of view, it's bullish for sure, but you have to be cautious because of the event outcome that's expected in the coming days. Right, so GDP data, a lot of the data is coming this week and the Monday, Tuesday days. So you have to be slightly cautious of being madly long about it. Right, cautiously long is what we should do. Always hedge your positions and then don't carry overnight risk without hedging. Right, you could wipe out your capital. So manage your risk and watch out for the VIX spiking up. So position size properly and then manage your risk, and you can be still in the game. So that's it, bullish market view. So that's all from my side. Happy trading, happy learning. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and share with your friends and colleagues. Thanks for watching. Happy trading, happy learning, happy investing. Bye.